Hi guys, I am back again with the second part. Here begins the non-reciprocal dynamics of moving bodies, the real theory of relativity. Actually, this is the real-time analysis of the universe. Let us take the same example where Newton's car ain't working and it doesn't change its position with time. However, Einstein's car changes its position with time and he steps forward but doesn't accept any change in his position, so he observes Newton changing his position with the same step. In other words, Einstein views his own reflection of motion in Newton's car. Let us understand the redefined relative motion through the animation. Every step that Einstein moves with his car but doesn't feel any change, makes him feel Newton moving the same step, in the same event in opposite direction. Actually, Newton's car doesn't change its position with the surroundings with time, so it can't be real velocity. Einstein sees his own motion's reflection in Newton's car. This phenomenon can be taken as imaginary velocity. So it is proven fact that if two frames are moving with the same magnitude in opposite directions in a single event, it is incumbent upon one of them to have a real and the other to have an imaginary velocity. Wherein only one frame is active, the other is passive. The reflection of motion cannot be attributed to real displacement with time but imaginary, since the phenomenon is mere an appearance of motion which is not a physical action. It is, therefore, relative motion is defined as the synthesis of real and imaginary motion with direction reversibility. V minus iota v, or iota v minus v, instead of v minus v, or minus v. Relativity states that if you don't accept any change in you, though the changes are taking place in you, you will see that change is being taken place in your counterpart. So in the animation in this story, if Einstein feels motionless while moving, he finds Newton in motion. This signifies reciprocity is valid in vector quantities. Actually, the sign, minus or plus, acts on the direction only and not on the magnitude, which remains constant. However, in scalar quantities where magnitude alone is there to lose or to gain in the absence of direction, inverse variation takes place. For example, twin brothers A and B are identical, who get separated from one another for some period and rejoin again. A gets fat during the period but doesn't accept any change in him. On comparing with B, he observes B getting thin. This is inverse variation. See the Even after getting fat, A feels no change in him. So on comparing, he concludes B got thin. Exactly, the case when an observer at rest observes the mass of the moving particle increasing due to kinetic energy. However, if the moving observer in the moving frame doesn't accept any change in the moving particle, he would see the identical particle at rest is decreasing. Transformation is different from Lorentz, so here we take inverse transformation law: x equals x prime plus iota vt, upon under root 1 minus square of iota v by c, t equals t prime plus x iota v by c square, upon under root 1 minus iv by c square. Mass velocity relation mv equals m under root c to the power 4 minus v to the power 4, upon c square minus v square. Mass increases in moving frame and decreases at rest. Composite mass remains increased due to energy content. At c, energy content will be infinity and mass downs with 0. The product of infinity and 0 is indeterminate. That signifies transformation of matter into photon generating gamma rays. The greater the mass, the shorter the wavelength it imparts to emerging photon. Two-way interaction between matter and field gives birth to antimatter. Length variation L prime equals L under root c to the power 4 minus v to the power 4, upon c square minus v square. lengthening in moving frame and contraction at rest. Lengthening of length allows the stream of photons to appear in the form of a ray which is persistent in their uniformity, otherwise due to contraction it appears in dots, dashes and in monochromatic look of white light. Prime equals under root t, c raised to power 4 minus v raised to power 4, upon, c square minus v square. Time runs fast in moving frame and dilates at rest. In rainy days the thunder sound and lightning flash are simultaneous at some distance off in the sky. We receive the flash first and the sound later. Since light greater than sound, according to SDR, due to time dilation, we should first receive sound, just as the slowing muons decay first, and much later the flash of light, like fast muons decay later. Furthermore, due to time dilation the flash should last long over the sky for hours. However, it is experienced that the thundering sound has a greater span of survival than the flash of light. Soon you will get in the next video the chapter-wise description of this book, Non-Reciprocal Dynamics of Moving Bodies. Please like it.